Thank you for taking the time to come listen to my final negotiation project that is a car-for-car trade with my father. My name is Jack Carpenter, and this is for my BADM 7160s negotiations class. Now, the situation I kind of have at hand is I am about to be graduating the MBA program here in May, and right now I'm driving a car that's a little bit on its last leg. It has been in the shop, I've toted it around the country, it's got a ton of miles on it, and I'm looking to get a new car. What I want to do is I don't want to go straight up to a dealership first. My father actually has a very nice car that I've driven around. I like it. He's mentioned he wants to buy a new car. So I'm going to attempt to negotiate a fair offer to purchase his vehicle from him in order for him to sell it to me and purchase a new car that he of his choosing. Now, the negotiation material that's going to be involved here are the two cars pictured in this slide. My dad's 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee has around 45,000 miles on it. It's from 2012. It's in very, very good condition and has a Kelley Blue Book value of around 28 grand. Now, the car that I'm working with here is not as nice, but it's a 2004 Chevy Tahoe. It's got around 184,000 miles on it. It's in really good condition for about an 11, 12-year-old car, but it's only got a Kelley Blue Book value of $6,700, which is, there's a big discrepancy of around $22,000 there between the two vehicles. So I'm going to have to be doing a good bit of negotiation to get this deal done in a favorable way for myself. So the first concept that I'm really considering here is the dual concerns model. I want to take it as a problem-solving thing with my dad. I really care about my outcome, but I also care about the outcome that he has. So I want to get a fair deal for me, and I want to get a fair deal for him so that he's not getting the brunt end of the stick there. Another one of the concepts that I was looking into is the preparation through distributive bargaining situations. I'm going to need to set an initial offer. I'm going to need to set a target point or my real aspiration point for what I want out of this deal. And I'm going to have to set a walkaway point. Now, my initial offer is going to be not the best offer there is in the world for my father, but it'd be a great offer for me. I plan on offering him the full trade-in price of the Tahoe, around $6,700, plus 3 to 5 grand on top of that for a lump sum, and then about monthly payments that'll in total equal out to a total of $14,000, or about half price of the Jeep. Now, this is only my initial offer. My aspiration or target offer is going to be the trade-in price plus 5 grand, and then the monthly payments that are equal to about $17,000. Now, you may say that's not a whole much more over the initial offer, but that's kind of my aspiration point. Now, and then I'm going to have to set a walkaway point. If I ask to give him the full trade-in price, the 5 grand, and the monthly payments, the maximum amount of money that I'm going to be willing to pay is around $22,000. I'm hopefully not going to be able to get the negotiated price down below that, but 22 grand is about as much as I'd be able to deal with at the moment with my considering my immediate financial situation. Now, another one of the concepts that I'm trying to avoid here are certain cognitive bias. I'm not going to have irrational escalation of commitment into this. I'm not going to throw up a ton amount of money to get my dad to jump at it and offer me the car. I'm not going to go ahead and do that. I'm also not going to be too overconfident in the deal, knowing that I'm going to talk to my dad. My dad is a brilliant man, a brilliant negotiator, and has gotten this far in life with his skills. So I can't be overconfident coming into this situation. And I'm not going to ignore other cognitions either. I'm not going to ignore anything that he has going on, anything that he's trying to do here. I'm going to try and make it a fair deal for both of us. I'm also going to attempt to do a little bit of projection here. I'm going to attempt to project my characteristics and my feelings about my current situation, about the deal, and as a family member, or as really his son, I'm going to try and get those factors projected onto him so he's a little bit more lenient towards me, and he might be able to give me a little bit of a better deal on the car than I would, say, negotiating with a car dealer that is not related to me and does not really care that much. The first thing I'm going to do with a negotiation tactic from negotiation tactic standpoint is I'm going to throw up a trial balloon. Kind of propose the idea to him about buying the car, gauge his reaction, see what's going to happen, gauge his response, and see how he's going to look at me and what his response is going to be with regards to whether he actually wants to sell me the car, whether I could convince him to sell me the car, and where we'll go from there. After throwing up the trial balloon, it's going to be more like I'm going to frame the situation in my favor. If I can be able to frame the situation so that he sees me as a college graduate with a master's degree, starting out with a career, well-paying job, and somebody who's in need of a little bit of assistance financially with regards to purchasing a car, I'm going to try and frame this in that way so that he is more inclined to give me that deal that I'm looking for, and he can also get something out of it as well. The seventh concept that I'm going to try and employ here is I'm going to give him a lowball offer. Now, I don't want to lowball my dad, but it's going to be kind of see what he goes with, see where he's thinking about what kind of money he's looking for in the car. He's not going to straight up tell me how much he wants, so that's why I'm going to give him the low ball. I'm going to give him the trade-in price of the Tahoe and only $3,300 on top of that for a total of $10,000. Now, I wholeheartedly expect this low ball to be declined immediately, but it's just to kind of gauge where he's at. If he doesn't balk at it, then maybe I might be in a better place and I might be able to get the car for less than I thought. But after I give him the lowball offer, I'm going to be able to offer him the initial price point that I'm looking for, which is the trade-in price of the Tahoe with about $3,000 to $5,000, and then the monthly payments equal to $14,000, or about half the price of the Grand Cherokee. Now, concepts 8 and 9 that I'm going to incorporate into my negotiation is I'm going to bring legitimacy and informational sources of power into the negotiation. I'm going to bring the Kelley Blue Book research that I've done. I'm going to bring the depreciation values of the car, how his Jeep is depreciating compared to what the price I'm going to be offering to him. I'm going to lay out future payment plans, kind of give him what the present value of a future payment plan would look like and what a future value of my payment plan would look like to him so that he's more inclined to lean my way as long as I come with information, I come prepared, and I come showing what I'm willing to give him. The next concept that I'm going to want to employ is kind of power based on my relationship with my father. Now, I'm the firstborn son. I've been there with my dad throughout thick and thin, and I'm going to try and play on that. It might not be the best way to do it, but it's definitely going to work in my favor because the relationship aspect that we have between each other is going to be something that I can use to my advantage, and that he would be more inclined to lean my way with giving him a little bit lower price than what he probably would take if I didn't use this relationship to my advantage. Now, another concept is a kind of peripheral influence on him. If I frame my message the correct way, if I put my message in the correct contents, it'll influence him to lean towards siding with me and siding on the lower price of the car. If I do this the right way and format and give him the message in the right context, he's going to be inclined to side with me, I believe. Now, I'm definitely going to provide him with alternatives. As you can see below you, there's a few different alternatives in payment plans. We have option 1, 2, and 3. All three of these options start off with a lump sum of about $10,000. The only main difference here is the years the payment plan will go for. Option 1 is only a 1-year payment plan, which will in total come to about $13,500, right near the $14,000 mark that I was talking about with my initial offer. Then there's my aspiration point, really, is option number 2, which is a 2-year payment plan on top of the $10,000 lump sum for a total of about $16,800, which is right at that $17,000 mark. And then there's option 3, which would be essentially my final offer, which is a 3-year payment plan paying him $300 a month, which would in total equal to about $20,000, which is about the maximum I'd like to pay for this car. Now, if he comes back to me with some of these offers a little bit higher than I want, I'm going to attempt to split the difference. So if he comes back with, say, give me $22,000, I'll try and go, how about $20,700, or how about $21,000? Or if he comes back with, give me $18,000, I'll come back with, how about $17,250? And we'll go from there, bounce prices around, and see what happens. Now, if he's inclined on one of these prices to give to me, and he's kind of there, but he's not really, I'm going to go ahead and sweeten the deal for him. I have two younger brothers that are still in school and that are going through college at the moment. I'll offer to tutor them for free. My dad has extreme confidence in my academic ability and has already seen the way I've tutored my brothers in the past. If I can offer them free tutoring over video conference or FaceTime or what have you, that'll be something on top of the deal that he'd love to have because it would save him money from purchasing outside tutors. The last thing I'm really going to do is I'm essentially going to assume the close. I'm working with my father on this deal, so I think it's going to be easy for me to get it done. If he has any inclination that he wants to take this deal, I'm just going to make it known that it's done. Let's go. I'm going to write up a bill of sale. I'll write up a receipt. I'll write up a little bit. We can get this done. Let's go look at the payment plans, and we'll choose this one. I'll show you my full-on paperwork and my full-on due diligence, and then we'll move from there. So if I assume the close, I think I'm going to be perfectly fine. But thank you for taking the time to watch my PowerPoint slide today, and I hope you enjoyed my negotiation and the tactics that I will employ later this summer. Let's hope it works out in my favor. Thank you very much.